Hey there, TJ here, and welcome to Yeah The Dees, where I will be going through this game, and I will also be going through this game because I had a week off. I just had a week that completely got away from me and just did not have any time to film. But yeah, this game was a lot more enjoyable to watch than this one. This one was very stressful, but we'll get into them shortly. Firstly, I just want to kick off with the best and fairest that Christian Petrarca claimed on last Friday. A very eventful best and fairest if you go off Stephen May's speech that he had once he landed in fifth. I will play that speech later in the episode and just give you my thoughts on that one. But here's the top 10 from the Bluey Truscott Memorial Trophy Melbourne Best and Fairest last Friday. No surprise to see Christian Petrarca win. He definitely had one of the best seasons of any of the players in the AFL. He finished top in score involvements, third most disposals out of anybody, which is pretty amazing considering how much time he spent forward. Jack Viney had an incredible second half of the year, had so many best on grounds in the Brownlow as well. He was a clear second for me. Jake Lever may surprise a few people, finishing in third, but you can see that the votes do get very close. So between Jake Lever and Trent Rivers, there's only 40 votes difference between all those players, so they really could have ended up anywhere. Jake's had a very, very, very solid career with us. He's only really had sort of the 1 year where it didn't quite work between him and Stephen May. Got the second most intercepts for the year, 85% disposal efficiency. Angus Brayshaw had a really great year, ended really poorly. Stephen May coming fifth, I thought was a little bit surprising just because he had a few games where he was just really, really off. He probably had three of his worst games I've ever seen this year, but then he played one of the best finals from a defender I've ever seen. Alex Miller-Bullen is sixth by one vote. He plays his role and always goes about it. I know he has his haters, but I think he does his role. Cozzy, a little bit of a surprise considering, he was suspended for a few games and wasn't in great form for a lot of the year. Max had some standout performances, but also, injured for a lot of the year. Judd McVie had a fantastic debut year, finishing ninth is really, really impressive. He's going to be an absolute lock in our side for a very long time. And Trent Rivers, who I thought would pop up a bit higher, rounded out the 10. Deacon Smith got the Best VFL Player Award, so congratulations to him. Tom Sparrow with the James McDonald True Player. He's growing into a fine, fine footballer. Ben Brown's third year in a row winning the Club Ambassador Award. He does some amazing stuff around the club. He's an amazing human and doing great things down at AFLW. It's nice that the Best Young Player got drawn, but I think Judd McVie outshone Jacob Van Rooyen in the end, whilst Roo had some really amazing goals and kicking 28 goals in 20 games in your first seasons. It's top. It's upper echelon type stuff. Is great. I think Judd possibly should have won that on his own. And yeah, Angus Leadership Award, he is not quite heart and soul because that's probably Jack Viney, but he is like the drive. He's the backbone. He's the culture of the club. He's the reason why we're good is Angus Brayshaw, and boy, do we miss him in those finals. And then Trent Rivers with the Coaches Award, which really shows, his rapid development. I look at this as sort of like as a most improved player kind of thing. So great job there. Anyway, let's get cracking into these games, and I'll get through the trade stuff. Stephen May, Clayton Oliver, all my thoughts on that after we get through these AFLW games. So a very, very nice dominant display here in what felt like a very, very competitive match. It was a great contest early. We couldn't really get too much score on the board. It was a lot of sort of ping-ponging back and forth. But one of the most sort of complete performances I've seen. And Geelong are a decent side. And we put in a really, really good four-quarter performance and then ran away with it at the end, which is always enjoyable. We kept this side scoreless in the last quarter, goalless in the last quarter, again, making it 14 games in a row. And that's an incredible streak in any kind of sport. And in the end, we had a bit of fun with this game, actually. Kate Hoare defeated Geelong on her own because she got a late goal at the end to give her 4-2 for the game. Geelong ended up with 4-1. To outscore an opponent in a game is always really, really fun. And she was just in absolutely fine form this game. Paxi, having her come back and just do her thing is awesome. Like, she just doesn't look like she's slowing down. Her goal from the pocket was absolutely sensational. It was really, really good. Gab Colvin, getting her back was awesome. She played really, really well on sheer, kept her to basically no influence, went a long way to keeping Geelong to just 25 points in this game as well. Eden Zanker, I thought, played a really good game. She was clunking some really great contested marks, and hasn't the marking really improved from these D girls. Really impressed me that she was, heavily outnumbered or in 2-on-1s in situations, and she'd halve the situation or win them, turning, what should have been a clean sort of Geelong ball out to making it a 50-50. So, whilst she's doing some really good things offensively, she's actually doing some really good things defensively as well. My only complaints really for this game was, why is it on at 6 p.m. on a Thursday? Like, that just seems like the weirdest time ever. It gave me no opportunity to go. If this was an hour later or on a Friday or something, I probably would have taken the train down and gone and watched this game. But putting it on at this time makes it impossible for people from Melbourne to go, especially if you work 9 to 5. Like, that's just awful. So why? The commentary was biased and very, very ordinary. There was some chick on there just shitting on Melbourne whenever she could. She obviously hates us or is jealous of us. On top of that, really happy with the umpiring. I think the umpiring system in the AFLW is really good. Maybe just because the game is slightly slower and played a little bit differently. Maybe the pace allows for the time of the calls to be really on point. But yeah, just a really, really nice game from the girls here. Kept them to 2 goals in the first half and 2 goals in the second half. 2 goals, 1 in the second half, which is anytime you can keep a team to 4 goals in a game, it's really impressive. Getting 11-8 on the board, so that's 19 scoring shots, and that's really been sort of what our average has been around this year. We're sort of doing 15, 16, 17 to even 20 scoring shots with these girls. That's pretty much all I've got to say. In terms of the coaches' votes, let's get into those. And Kate Hall got the perfect 10. Nina Morrison ended up with 8. Paxi got 3. Same with Tyler Hanks, Lily Myth, and Amy McDonald from Geelong picked up 2 votes, and Olivia Purcell with the 2. So for my votes, I gave Olivia Purcell 1 vote, thought she was excellent. Gave Eden Zanker 2 votes for her great competitive nature around the ground. Gave 3 votes to Sinead Goldrick, who did some really, really nice stuff throughout the game. She hits some really critical contests and is just absolutely fearless. Gave the 4 votes to Tyler Hanks, who was absolutely immense in the midfield. 5 votes to Paxi Paxman, who just showed another game of her best. And of course, the 6 votes and best on ground goes to Kate Hall, who was unstoppable for the game. Onto this game against Adelaide, and we faced our nemesis again, the Adelaide Crows. They do have the bit of the wood over us. In recent times, we do always compete very, very hard with them. They're a very good side. They, have a lot of established players, and Ebony Marinoff is a bit of a star. She's, a bit ridiculous and hard to stop. So, we had a fantastic first quarter. Playing down at Casey, obviously the wind's there. We took advantage of the wind. And then in the second quarter, just the complete opposite happened. Exactly what we did in the first quarter, Adelaide did to us. They took advantage of the wind and were able to get the scores to even at half time. We get into the third quarter, and this is the most disappointing quarter I think I may have ever seen these girls play. Only getting the 1 goal on the board, but having 4 goals, 1 kicked against them was really, really disappointing and made it really difficult for the rest of the game, especially since we were kicking down the scoring end. To have that get put against us was, just a bit sad. But the girls responded, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that when you're challenged, that you're going to come out and respond and fight for a win and not give up. Yeah, just going to move me out of the way here so we can do this. So we kicked the last goal of that third quarter and then kicked the first 2 going into the fourth to bring it within a 2-kick game. Adelaide were able to get 1 goal on the board, which ended our goalless run, unfortunately, of 14 games. We were able to get that one right back and then kick the next one. It looked like we were going to steam home and come for them. We held the ball in our forward half for so long, and then bang, out the back. They finally break through, get one, and get that cushion in between us to get that goal there. And Just super disappointing. I felt like we had it once Eden Zanker got this goal. I was like, "Yep, we're steaming home. We're gonna take this one away." But they got that one out, and Caitlin Gould was able to put it through, and pretty much run out the game, and they beat us. They beat us by 10 points in the end. But I'm not too disappointed about it, because it's good to have a loss right before finals, just so you get that little bit of a reality check. You get a little bit of, maybe we're not as good as we think we are. Not get complacent, and make sure that they enter the final series in, with a good mindset and good form. So disappointing. Obviously, we had this great 14-game streak, but yeah, we just roll on. Let's get into the coaches' votes. Ebony Marinoff ended up with a perfect 10. Zanker got 8 after kicking 5 goals. Anna Hatcher with 6. Tyler Hanks with 4. Tia Charlton with 2. So for my votes, I gave 1 vote to Olivia Purcell, 2 votes to Maddie Gay, who was pretty great in the back line, 3 votes to Tyler Hanks, who was relentless, 4 votes to Sinead Goldrick, who's becoming one of my favourite players. She's just doing some excellent stuff. Gave 5 votes to Eliza McNamara for her 2 goals, only having 2 goal kickers in this game. I really ranked them highly, which means I gave Eden Zanker the 6 votes and best on ground for her 5-goal display. So if you haven't seen it, Lace Out put it up on their Twitter account, the question that Stephen May got asked.
As Goody said, you obviously did so well in those finals. So it was the back end of the season that really solidified it. But look, if there is anyone who dislikes losing, we know it's definitely you. As Goody said, it hurts to end the season in such fashion, especially when you can go all the way. How hungry are you to get back out next year and go all the way?
Look, I've had a few fans come up to me and say, I really appreciate and respect how much you hate losing, which is awesome, and I do, because, and I don't want to, talk about it in hindsight, but we lose to Collingwood and they go on to win the flag, and it fucking hurts watching that, because we're a better team than them. We should have smoked them, and to sit there on grand final day and watch them, hoist the cup and get the medals, I'm sitting there going, geez, our team's so much better than these guys, and we should have been out there, but we weren't. And I think we got an unbelievable list, we got an unbelievable coaching group, and the hunger has never been hungrier, and I'm blessed to be a part of this team, and looking forward to next year.
Basically, he says that we should have smoked Collingwood, and he's had a few cans. Like, he's definitely on the piss. Didn't think he was going to end up in the top 5 and do a speech. Makes it there by a couple of points. And he's just hard on his sleeve kind of guy. He'll just tell you how he feels, whether that's right or wrong. And he's gutted that we didn't win the flag. He's gutted that we lost to Collingwood and Carlton. He hates losing. He hates losing as much as all of we do. And that's what I love about him. I love that he's honest. I love that he goes out and says that. And I love that he said that he believes that we're the best team and that we are the better team, because I believe that too. The amount of Collingwood fans that go out and are so insecure about somebody saying stuff like this, it's probably because you weren't that good and you got a lucky flag. Well done. Enjoy it, because we're going to come out next year and we're going to come out firing. Passion like this that I love to see from players. I love to see that they care as much as we do. And of course they do. It's their lifestyle. It's how they make their money. It's how they put food on the table. It's so much more to them than what it is for us when we're sitting here on the outside viewing it, getting joy for what we can. So if it ruffled a few Collingwood fans, good. Stuff them. Like, they can just cop it. Like, that's his truth, and that's how he feels. Like, tell me where the lie is. Where are we not a better side? Yeah, you can win games. Good teams lose games. But we're definitely a better side, and we're a better team, and I believe that wholeheartedly. So it's nice to hear that someone in the football club believes the same thing that I do, and that we are that good. So in terms of Clayton Oliver and trades and things like that, this is an update that pretty much sums up what we're doing. If you don't follow My Heart Beats True, do it. It is a fantastic fan page. I've followed it for years, and they're always on the money with what's going on at the club, and just being informed. That's, an unofficial source. Yeah, we're committed to Clayton Oliver, which I'll get into in a second. Petty's definitely staying. He's contracted. He does have a pool to go home, He is a big family person, that is for sure. When you're injured and sitting at home, you're going to want to be around family. That's going to scream out to you a lot more than when you're playing and winning games. Shane McAdam, Adelaide apparently still want to keep him. Apparently he's best 22, even though he only played like 7 or 13 games this year. And I've never heard of him. But that's fine. Tom Fullerton, I've heard a little bit about when he crossed over to Brisbane from the Brisbane Bullets. He's a basketball player, 200 centimetres. I think it could be good. Why not? We definitely need to back up. Look, Grundy's probably going to Sydney. And Sydney, geez, there's a lot going on there with James Jordan going. Looks like Taylor Adams is going there. They've just delisted 6 people. So, they're going to be bringing quite a few players in. James Harms is working with the manager to find a new home. I think with James, he's achieved everything that he wants to in his career. He's played for his childhood club. He won the drought-breaking flag with his childhood club. So he's just happy to play footy. That's just the vibe that I get from the situation. And our future first is up on the table for us to move up the draft order. Obviously, we've got 5-13. We are looking to try and get Harley Reid, but there is a lot of players in the draft that I think are really, really good. So there's a few good players in the draft that obviously everyone's talked about Harley Reid. Jed Walter looks really good as a key forward, 195 centimetres, but he's a Gold Coast Suns Academy player. This is why they were trading out pick 5 to get more picks and more value, because otherwise pick 5 would have got gobbled up by this when they need to match it. So they're trying to get value and points to be able to come up, and they'll end up in this second spot. Daniel Curtin also looks wild. Can play as a key defender or through the midfield. So he's very, very highly rated. Zane Dursma, brother of Xavier, looks pretty good. Had a couple of games at VFL level. Didn't hugely impact, but he's got a lot of good prospects. My personal favourite is Colby McKercher. This dude is a midfielder that runs and kicks goals. He's got a decent-sized body for a 181 centimetre, and he gathered 40 disposals against West Australia in a really, really impressive performance. Since we've got pick 5, we're sort of, probably looking around Colby. So I'm hoping we can get him if we don't end up with Harley. But there is plenty of, other good players through here that I haven't watched a lot more of. Ethan Reid's another Suns Academy pick who's a ruckman. So it's going to be a really, really interesting draft period. There's going to be a lot of trades. But when coming back to Clayton Oliver, so there was a big report by a guy named David Evans, which went around on social media, which had like lots of dot points sort of moving down what happens. This is all freely on the internet, and other people have talked about it, so you can go and find that sort of stuff. Gary Lyon spoke about it with Tom Morris on SEN this morning, so Gary actually got involved. He's got some family ties with Clayton Oliver, and just had a word. The club gave him a ring and said, "Hey, would you mind having a word with Clayton?" And he did that, and things are on the mend and getting better. To me, it looks like Clayton's a 25, 26-year-old kid gone straight from being a junior footballer into a football club, and the football club's watched him grow, and he hasn't had a lot of adversity in terms of his body, his preparation, and things like that. He's broken up with his girlfriend this year, so a lot of stability in his life has come away, like the way that he's lived his life for 8 years in terms of, training with the main group, being involved in the program and all that. That all changed for him, and it's been a long time that's never happened. It's incredible that he's been that fit for that long. Like the only other time he needed to get surgery was on his shoulders after the 2018 grand final, and he was back there by round 1. He doesn't really do hamstrings and things like that. He hasn't really been that kind of player to get injured. So for him to go through that, be removed from the group, from the main playing group, from his main friends, put into a recovery program, have things go wrong during that recovery program. Now, I'm not sure exactly when he broke up with his girlfriend, but I imagine it would have been after the Port Adelaide game. And then, there's been reports of him drinking. He rocked up to his end-of-season interview a bit dishevelled and things like that. And they just scream out that a person needs help. Like football players aren't immune to human problems, to breakups, to not feeling satisfied in your workplace. And he just had a bit of a fuck you moment and sort of tossed the toys out of the cot. And that's what all the reports were last week, was that there was just this loggerheads going because the club has standards that he wants to adhere to, but Clayton's hurting and going through some sad emotions and things in his life. And the club's put their arms around him, and now he's moved in with Max and he's going to get sorted. Like, It's just a shame that that's public because he's a top 10 player in the game. If he was a lower player, this would never make the news. I don't think we should worry about it. It's going to get sorted out. I think the club's going to do good things. A lot of people overreact when they hear stuff like this and like, I'm not going to buy a membership next year if he goes. It's like, well, wait until you get all the information first and then go from there. So, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for the last 2 weeks about everything that's gone down and trades and stuff. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching Yeah The Dees.
And it's just so special for our club, mate, our club.
Lastly, after 57 years of pain, it's coming home.